Spotify, they're getting worse with it too.
It was a nuisance, so I was like, fuck him. I did my own shit, and now I'm up, and now all that paid off, and all them niggas they peaked in high school. I always had confidence. I ain't never been nervous. I ain't never had anxiety. I ain't never second guessed myself. If I want it, I go get it. I'm always on. Just go.
Yo.
I don't know what fear is. When they talk about that nigga, I'm him.
This is Steady Mobbin Podcast.
Episode
565 or 566 rather.
It's funny, right?
All the haters out there,
Y'all didn't really think we was gonna be here.
all the people who talk shit, you're gonna be coming for our throats soon. Because we're not letting up.
Sky's just what we stand on.
All you pedophiles, and all you weirdos with weird cases. You're not gonna measure anything.
no names, but you know who you are.
You know who you are.
Jesus Christ. Weird case niggas.
We gonna run it up. And not only are we gonna run it up, we're gonna talk to the people you can't talk to
Oh, shit.
and say things you can't say.
Let them know.
And when they find out about your weird case, they won't come to your show.
Stay away from the schools, yo.
Today, we got a special guest. We gonna fuck it up every way. This man is Toronto's savior. Toronto's elder statesman. Toronto's last great hope. Toronto's great hope.
Ambassador of the boom bap.
Let's fucking go. We got Asun Eastwood in the building. Toma. Yo, you, the way you're flowing, the way you're doing your thing now, it's just so magical. And like, I think when you're doing your fingers like that, yo, did you? Is that what you learned from like
The orchestra?
no alchemy? Like,
That's exactly. It feels like, because if you hear the beat, the way I hear the beat, I like the drum. And nowadays, drumless is a thing, right? So like, I could just hear the thing. Like, I hear when the instrument's supposed to go. Because I'm now in boom bap, in the way I'm flowing, I'm the instrument. So I want to pick the part. So it's like, let me just hit that part. Let me make sure that that syllable is right there and right there. So that's just helping me.
And when did you learn that technique?
It's just natural. It just happens. I know. That's the talent in it, I guess.
And the thing I will add too, I think you're one of my favorites when it comes to beat selection. You don't miss when you choose a beat.
Thank
No.
you.
Ghostface was like, well, still is one of the ultimate when it comes to the beat selection. You're that.
Absolutely.
Like, how do you, like, what is it about a beat that draws you to it?
You know what? It's one, I have to give it up to the brothers, because I have what we didn't have to do. We don't need anyone else. We have it here.
Yeah.
In Toronto, Sibs, Gold Era, Finn, Gold Era, Award, and people are starting to know who they are right now. But
Shout out to
guys
Finn.
Been in the backyard.
Yeah.
And they're here, and they're like here. Like, when I start going over to the studio with them, it's like, what? Merciless, a staple in Scarborough. Yo, in the city. These guys are nasty. Future Wave, nasty brothers. So it's like, this is easy work. Now, when I hear something that is like, oh, I love this, I'll send the commercial joint to them. Like, I love this.
Yeah.
I have the brothers be like, all right,
Yeah.
let me make this now. I have a sample that's similar to that, but it's not that.
Oh,
Let
man.
me make this.
Yeah.
Like, even the Bosie Flex. The Bosie Flex is Imperative, another one that's
Shout out to
on the
Imperative.
way.
Yeah.
He heard the little part on the Drake joint. And he heard the Drake joint, and he's like, he had like a little of the sample. He's like, I already made this already. And it was on. This is the funny part. These guys already made a lot of things that the industry's using.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, if we don't showcase it, then they would even not know. And now they're supposed to get stolen by the big dogs. Now the big dogs are supposed to come and say, "Yo, who the fuck made that?
Yeah.
Yo, let's take this guy." So that's what's happening. The producers is the winner. Producers are the winners.
Shout out to the producers. I don't think we have done our due diligence in showcasing the producers.
winners.
No, not yet. We haven't. We haven't.
Yeah, we got to change that.
Yeah, we'll fill the layers.
Peace
We'll
to
fill the layers.
Wiz.
Yes.
You know what? From all the rappers I've seen in the GTA and in Canada, and especially in the boom bap scene as well. Before I get to that, do you hate just being labeled as boom bap?
I mean, that's what it is, kind of. But like I said, boom bap is supposed to go boom and bap.
Yeah.
But if my beat, like Bossy Flex, an example, it doesn't have no drums, it doesn't go boom and bap. But because it's the easiest way to label it, it is that. Now, the connotation of backpacker, that's kind of hard to hear because I'm not rapping about backpack shit. I'm not rapping Scientology, scientists.
People have given you that label?
No. That's why I prefer boom bap over a backpacker. So when I hear boom bap, I'm like, all right, I understand what you're trying to say because I rap into that old school type of way where it was boom bap. But we're applying it to many different type of production.
Yeah. And when people say boom bap, there is obviously an appreciation for it, a craving for it, because it takes us to the essence of hip hop.
That's what
you know. So it's really like a compliment, like
That's
that
what I
boom bap.
hear.
Like people want that. There's like
I hear it as a compliment.
yeah.
When I hear
Definitely
boom
a
bap,
compliment. Yeah.
that's what I hear.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts, just overall, about hip hop in general, the music? For the past year, I feel like things have been kind of quiet on the music end. Not on the scandal end. I'm not talking about the scandal.
You mean the music end? It was a good year. 2024.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Cause
what were some,
the whole Drake and this whole
with the exception of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That definitely a highlight.
Yeah, they brought back hip hop into the top 100 in the Billboard.
Okay.
It wasn't there for 6 months.
2 artists, 1 genre. There's thousands, tens of thousands
Millions.
in hip hop.
True.
In Canada alone.
Other than that, musically, was there any standout music, songs, besides my man here?
Schoolboy Q was pretty good last year.
Yeah.
He had a good album.
Yeah.
I
think it's all genres, like, because I hear what you're kind of asking, like hip hop on a broad scale. I think that there's so much being made. It's not hard to make music. Like, we can make a song right here, right now. I can pull up a beat. You have enough equipment.
I might hold you to
make
that.
a quality song right now.
Yeah.
You know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
Back in the day, we had to save money to make a song, to
Yeah.
go and record. One, you can't punch in. One, you have to do everything on time. Everything is this. This one piece of equipment has changed the world on podcasts. It's changed the world that there's now 1 million people to compete with.
Yeah.
So today, I promise today, if you go in new music and you really look, and this will be the popular people in new music. Imagine people that are just some guy in fucking Kentucky that no one knows but 10 people in Kentucky. He dropped an album today.
Yeah.
There's a guy in Algeria that dropped an album today. That's hip hop. There's a guy in fucking Macon, Georgia that dropped an album.
Yep.
You could think about 1 million people. So it's hard. So if you're the top guy, that's why we're talking about streams so much, because it's generated. For you to, it has to be a commercial. I have to play this song 1 million times to you and hypnotize you for you to know that this guy exists.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get that type of promotion, that type of money funneled into him, we won't know him.
Yeah.
We will not know him
Yeah.
because it's too much. If he's just playing the regular algorithm, we will not know him.
Yeah.
Now, what we did is just go out to the people. So we still took the old school approach, like, okay, let's do shows, let's do this.
Yeah.
So now I'm starting to bump, because when I was just doing it without doing shows out here, I was just reaching I used the thing of like paying for features of people already out. If I didn't do that, no one would know me. So that started generating around those people's fan base.
Yes.
So now I started getting support so all my support was coming from US.
Yeah.
I had tons of US support. So I'm like, how is it not connecting to Canada? Canada got onto Griselda a little later than in the US. They're on Griselda from 2015 and 2016.
Yeah.
Canada got to Griselda maybe 2018.
2019. Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
So from that point now, I'm starting to get Canadian listeners. But until we started touching ground, touching the earth, touching the Phoenix, touching the Opera House, touching Staples,
You're in
going
New
out
York.
and doing little shows and bringing, on top of that though, not just us, bringing big time acts.
Yeah, I see you guys moving that.
Front line.
Yeah.
Then we're making
The shows is where it's at.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This was that's the second part of the question, rather. You're one of the few rappers, I think one of the last Mohicans, rather, who is touring and who has shows.
Yeah. It's this is where we're putting our money instead of like the algorithm.
Yeah. It's about the shows. Every time we have an artist pulls up, I ask them, "What's your plan on the shows?
Right.
What's your tour? What's your ideas? What do you want to do?"
Right.
And all of them are like, I don't know. I just want to make music right now. It's like, okay, but that's not suffice.
Mm-hmm.
So look at the people that are successful in the drill thing. Even it's the process,
Mm-hmm.
the shows, 950 tour.
Yeah.
So
Can you talk closer to the mic?
It's Roni. You see Roni?
Yeah.
He's doing tours. You might not see all his music so much, but he's doing tours all across Canada.
Yeah.
You see these guys that are actually touching for even what's the name? Those guys that the part they're from the light skinned youths, man. They went to jail.
Okay, Money and
Yes, those guys.
Casper?
Yeah.
Casper.
Okay.
Those guys were doing friggin' shows before they went to jail.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're look at how it looked and everything. So that boosted them up. So they had no fear of. But I understand because I know me when I was young. Yo, when I was doing shows, like I'd come out. I remember I did a show, Young Jock, at like Government. We did some. First of all, rap wasn't really my thing. I knew people and I was kind of doing it, and I was just on a show. A couple shows here and there. But I remember those times was Year of the Gun in our time. I used to go to those shows with the gun on my waist. Why? What?
Yeah.
That's stupidity.
Yeah.
That you feel that way. So it's one thing. You either shouldn't be rapping this type of way because you're risking your whole freedom, or you really shouldn't do shows. Because so what? And then now we look at the K Monies and it's like, yo, as soon as you reach this type of fame or fortune in music, what happens?
What's the pivot?
You go to jail, so you just lose it all. Like, what do you can't even pivot because it went so raw because you're trying to prove out. And I'm not speaking specifically about those brothers, but that's the generic story of rap.
Yeah,
that is the generic story. You get bodies, you get on. Everyone knows you're telling the stories about the bodies, and when you either die or go to jail, either way, you have none of the money that you went for.
And there's a GoFundMe
None.
page after.
Right. So what? So what's the point?
It's terrible.
What's the point?
It's terrible.
There's a kid out in, I just heard about this story yesterday, a kid out in Philly. His name is Noah Scurry,
Man.
17-year-old kid.
Oh, man, you're going to kill me with this.
Put out his first rap video, dissing a few people. 24 hours later, on his way to school, getting to his mom's car.
JUCO.
That was it.
Jesse, I just told these guys a story at the studio yesterday.
Yeah.
That shit made me cry. A tear came out of my eye because you know why? I picked up my son and I said, yo, if this kid doesn't have a dad or not a dad, because that could have been me. I was living in that world of like just on the edge. And he's smart. He had the highest SAT scores.
Highest SAT scores.
Highest SAT
basketball
scores.
Yeah, because he's smart. He's smart
basketball
because what he did was he saw the formula, make a song, diss a bunch of dudes, and then post it.
But why do people leave out the formula where these guys end up dead?
Bro, these kids don't know better. They don't know better.
But also, I don't think it's the formula. I think also two things could be true, that he could also be outside. Because in high school, let me tell you this. In high school, I was capable of being that SAT leader. That SAT highest score for us, it would be fucking just your grade 12 or whatever. I was capable of being that person. We lost sports in my year. We lost sports in grade 10, and I stopped going to school. So now, after that, if I continued through school and using that as a thing, I didn't. But I was smart enough to go and do what I had to do. Meanwhile, I'm still out here, ha, 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 ha. So one day, just like I said, Year of the Gun, 2004, one day, I've had situation where it's click and the shit didn't go off.
Oh, wow.
So that one click and not going off changes a whole life.
Yeah.
So when I hear that story, I know that kid also playing into the peer pressure. It's still part of that.
That's right.
But it's still that, yo, I have to go get mine too. Like, I see money now. I'm a kid that wanted money now. So, okay, now he does the YouTube thing. Like, all right, I'm going to diss these dudes because I don't even respect them. And now I'm dead the next day because those dudes are, it could have been either way. And I just look at it for me.
Yeah.
I look at it the same way. I'm like,
absolutely.
yo, this is crazy.
Absolutely.
One turn.
But I feel like with us, you can give us the benefit of a doubt because we knew, like, if it came down to murking somebody, it was worth. You better be down for the time. Down for the time.
100%.
It was worth it.
Right, but what's worth it?
For me,
What's worth it for you?
For me, it'd be my family, my family honor. If somebody like touched my mom,
Yep.
or somebody owes me
Buku dollars.
50K up.
Okay. So now look at this, though. Look at this. Now that guy, we're this age. We're 16, 17 years old. that kid that's running around the street that you're dissing now, that dissed you, right? And now you diss him back because you're a stand-up guy and you say, yo, fuck this guy. Not rap. I'm not talking about rap diss. I'm just talking about a dissing person. Like, yo, he disrespected me. Yo, fuck you. You know what that guy's capable of.
Yeah.
Regardless if he's going to actually kill your mom or your dad, you know it's capable. So now I'd rather go offense than defense. So it might not be worth anything, but when you're young and you're like, yo, I can't lose. One, I don't want it to come to the point of my house. Two, it might not have ever got there, but you're playing offense because of what you know that person's known to do. So even if it's going to be stupid when you hear the story, it's going to be stupid.
Absolutely.
But it's still the lifestyle that we chose. It's hip-hop. It's fucking us up, bro.
Yeah.
We could do the circle.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of it is hip-hop, but it's not. It's like, it's just further conditioning. We're super conditioned because let me also tell you, I have two parents. I came with two parents, but I also came to a country that my mom came first. They had nothing. They have not even a community of Belizean people here. So now you're coming to a country where no support and you have to learn it. So we never lived in anywhere but a co-op. My parents didn't get a home until I was in grade 9. And then they sold the home in grade 9. They couldn't hold it down because of layoff or whatever. And then grade 10 comes. Now we get another home. Yo, by grade 10, I was just telling you, they never owned nothing. Then they had to sell that. This is 2-parent home. One was working and one wasn't.
Yeah.
It would always be that way. And when they finally start working together, then something else would come up. A layoff. It's not meant for us, but at the same time, I knew better, and I still doing bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky to not have the stupid story, and I'm here now, and I understand.
God bless.
But these kids don't have it, and now I can put myself back into high school and say, yo, there's some dumb shit I did that I really didn't need to do.
Yeah.
I didn't need to do.
Yeah.
And if things went a different way,
Completely.
you wouldn't.
And there's guys there that stabbed up, where the click happened, the man stabbing up the guy, and he's gone to jail for life.
Yeah.
His life changed, and that kid's life changed.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Noah Scurry. And we also got to remember he's still a child, still a baby, very
17.
Easy to be influenced. So yeah. And damn, his mom saw it. So God,
Imagine.
she wouldn't. She won't heal from that. That's
No.
crazy.
Impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, like even now, these kids are like they have no sense of what's like what's real or not. Like, to be really honest, like
social media plays into that too, man. It's the pressure of social media and the automatic celebration once you drop something and reading the comments. You get fed off of that high, but unfortunately there's real consequences to that shit.
Yeah. So
you could get 10,000 comments saying, yo, this shit is fire and da but there's someone on the receiving end plotting like, yo, I'm gonna catch this dude. And
crazy.
There's no expiration date on this shit.
Fairly, and none fairly. It is like that, and it's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
it's
because I could only imagine the dumb shit I would have done in high school if social media was there. I did dumb shit without social media.
I had Black Planet. Like, that was the one. I know that came later. Black Planet. For me, it was like probably grade.
What is that, 05, 06?
Grade 11. Yeah, grade 12.
No, Black Planet was like 2003.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was in grade 11-ish. Those are like mi gente. Oh, you know what's Spanish? Yo, peace to okay, Jane Street. Oh my goodness, all of them. Because I'm an East End guy. Any Spanish thing on the Jane Strip, every single little intersection, Lawrence, Finn. Yo, it didn't matter. Those, you guys know who each other. You're probably gonna message me like I'm stupid. But I found my wife in the East, and we're doing really well now.
Yo, the best South American food is all on the Jane Strip.
Of course.
All
of course. They're all there. Every one of them.
It's
Chile, Ecuador,
I go to the Mexican one.
Salvador,
Camel or the one with the burrito tacos.
Oh, okay.
The burrito tacos. She charges like $80 for those for 8 of them.
Jeez, that's the authentic touch.
This nigga's always talking about food.
I'm a fat nigga, bro. I love my food.
Proud of that shit. And we have the best. We have multicultural. We're like New York
Scarborough,
City.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And just all GTA. Like, as much as I want to say, yo, Scarborough has the best mom and pops.
Yeah.
Then I'll hit a place.
Say it, man.
I'll hit a place out here in the West, and I'll be like, damn. There's a spot over here.
Yeah,
like,
there's a couple spots. I feel like there's way more mom and pop better spots in
in Scarborough.
Yeah.
It feels like that because we're so like I'm always eating in this end, so it doesn't feel as special. So when I do find one in the West, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys have this, I don't have this.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's very far in between. I know what you're talking about, though.
I know.
So who are your main influences musically? Any genre.
I think this is funny. Prince, I fucking love Prince.
Come on.
I fucking love Prince. I like, and I'm talking from my age now, right? Because obviously at 17, 18, like I have a whole scope. And this is why the music sounds its way, because I have a lot more experience, right? So I get to pick from so many things. My palette is different now. So like if you were to ask me them times, like my success story is Jigga, Hove, Killer Cam. Like if those three people, I would say I want to have a career exactly like, it'd be Jigga, Hove, Killer Cam. Yeah, those three. Okay. Period. Even rapping style down to their rapping, everything.
But I'm sorry to interrupt you real quick. But what about even like the Cam and the Jim Jones shit?
Like,
come on, how does that make you feel? Like, come on, like that's like you tell me.
It hurts because it's in public. But I have always a thing of WWF. I think everything's WWF.
With Cam,
so,
with
anyone.
Okay.
With anyone.
Oh, okay.
And when you do industry, let's say we were this smart, because I'm not gonna put it beside them. We're watching something, but let's say we got off this camera and said, "Yo, next week, let's just all of a sudden me pop out and say, yo, fuck Black. Yo, fuck this podcast." And we know we're both in on it. And we're going to generate, and we put the heat to the max. And everyone now is going to start saying, yo, this guy might die over this. Yo, Ace is a real dude. Yo, this guy's a real dude.
Right.
Imagine how much we generate. And we're right now, and we're like,
yeah.
How much would we generate?
A lot more.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot more.
A lot. And that's WW. That's Vince McMahon.
So you know what? I wouldn't put it past them at that. You know what? I wouldn't put it.
It's a lot of money we're talking about. And Jim Jones has an album coming.
The alchemy.
Yeah. Jim Jones has an album coming.
There's a saying for that. It's like, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
But you know what? You're right. You know what? I'm going to be quiet from here on in about that kind of shit.
No, you can't be, because this is what you do. Right?
Yeah,
this is what you do. So if you do what you do, sell to it, right? No matter what. There's people selling out way more than what you're doing. At least you're talking your truth to what you're doing. And if they're telling us to believe it, all right, it's fair game to make any comment. Just like UMG. That's why you guys asked, is there anything you don't want to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
No, because anything that's in the public should be fair game. And if one of them niggas don't like that I said something, then don't fucking talk about it yourself.
Toma.
That's it.
Let's go.
It's simple math. Just if someone wants to talk about something I do, hey, I don't like that video. Hey, thank you.
I tell people, you're so right. Because people tell me all the time, mind my business. I'm like, it wouldn't be my business if you didn't put it out there.
Right.
You made it everybody's business.
Right. It's money. My wife's in the house watching Real Housewives of every fucking state right now. Every fucking. Shout out to wifey. She watched 7 Potomac. I had to look up where the fuck Potomac is. I'm like, yo, 7 seasons in 2 days.
I'm telling you, they do that. Yo, right now,
I be watching that shit low key.
They have the Real Housewives of Africa now. Like, yo, it's
Zimbabwe,
like what? Zimbabwe, Nigeria. It's like, what?
Look, I'm looking, and this is the point. They're selling themselves. So this is a new soap opera.
It is.
We don't even need actors.
No.
All we got to do is create drama once every 2 episodes.
It's true.
Once on the end, it's an hour episode. At the last 5 minutes is the most fucking fun part of the episode, because there's a drama to hang you on to say, let's watch the next fucking
episode. He's right, because producers behind the scene be like, yo, we need to amp this shit up. Because it's all about the ratings, and people love controversy, scandal, fights, That's why all these baddies, south, north, east, west, that shit be jumping off.
I'll tell you right now, we'll blow you guys up right now. Pause. You guys, this podcast, Friday Dread, what's another podcast out here? Whatever podcast, if y'all ended up doing one podcast all together and then starting a reality show and we just fucking produce it and say, yo, you two, you Ricky Dread and you Beef, you guys get in an argument and then you're breaking them up and saying, yo, but then behind the cameras, yo, fuck Ricky Dread. Yo, if everyone signed the papers and said this, everyone in our whole city feel like we know you guys.
Yeah.
So everyone would be dialed in like, yo, these guys, I don't agree with this guy and I don't agree with this guy. And that's how simple this math is. Are we willing to sell that out, though?
Fuck you, Friday! Fuck you! Fuck, we love hip-hop!
Fuck the whole shit. And now we're here. There it is. There it is. That's how simple it is.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. It
That's hilarious.
It is love.
So that's
But you might as well make buku cash or just stand on the side and just play it and hopefully
Straight up.
get enough people that fuck with you.
Yeah.
That's why 50 won in his career, because he said, I'm dissing everyone.
Yeah.
I'm dissing everyone.
Yeah. Well, one could say that's the Eminem and the Eminem
Thing too.
outline.
Yeah. But 50 really exploited it with like how to rob and shit
Yeah.
like that.
He
And he
just-
made
that
it
was crazy.
comedic.
That
And
was
he made it
crazy.
comedic
Yeah.
too. So
That was
And
crazy.
some people caught feelings.
some people caught feelings, but he knew what he was doing. He was ahead of the game, man.
was.
Shout out
He
to
was.
50, man.
Yeah.
Brilliant
Yeah.
guy.
It's
brilliant guy.
WWF, bro.
Yeah.
And then when you see me, now 50 has to just know I'm taking this measure. Am I stand up enough to deal with whatever comes with it?
Mm-hmm.
And once he got over that tough time, even the Supreme shit, he got off like the hardest time along with making the most money. And then he just suddenly put himself into, I'm not even in this rap shit no more. I'm over here. I just listened to Window
making out with-
Shopper.
Yeah.
Yo, you know how hard that track is?
Yeah.
And he's dissing like, Joe, you a window. He's saying everyone's name in the original shit. Jada, you a window shop. And then now he put Mace back on, and then he just, after those joints, he just cruised into, I'm gonna do acting.
Yeah.
Now I
and
can be
stayed
myself.
out of trouble.
Yeah, stayed out of
Didn't
it.
get caught up in no RICO, no scandal,
Yeah.
no nothing.
You hear his
Yeah.
interviews, he's the most professional, the smartest. He did the
Yeah.
49th law of power. He did
Yeah.
the laws of power on the whole industry.
Amazing. Speaking of beef, I mean, have you ever thought like, there's always a potential of someone
100%.
sending shots at you and how
mean,
you would deal with it?
To be honest,
Lyrically though.
yeah. To be honest, I have. Like but a lot of times I'm just not famous, so it's like you don't even know who this is for, right? A lot of the things are generated. A lot of times, there's only two things I'm talking about. A lot of times in the track, I'm literally talking to myself, especially when I'm sometimes the most harshest. I'm just talking to myself. It might come off preachy, but I'm just talking to myself. The second thing is because someone pissed me off, and we're in a thing where it's a lot of rappers and a lot of energy, and you hear it too, and it's like, all right, you're not going to talk like that. And if you know, you know. And hey, I don't know who watches the podcast, but some people might even put up a track and say, I know who this is about. I know who this is about. So I'm conditioned that way because it's rap. Like, it's just what it is. I hear something slight, I'm going to mention it. It just has to happen. That's what creates this.
Yeah.
So in Toronto, for me, what I could see, it's just you. That's next up. When I say, I apologize. When I say next up, I mean like the person who's going to get the highest accolades coming up in the
hope so.
near future.
I hope so.
Who else are you listening to?
The list is long, especially that rap's kind of in my genre. Juco. Lord Juco, he's one of them. I suggest y'all get him
Fury,
up there.
right?
Take it. No. Fury. Lord Fury is the Supreme Jeans organizer, and he raps too. But Lord Juco, there's a brother named Lord Juco. He almost has. He's gonna hate me saying this. His tone is almost like Drake. It's very similar tone-wise to Drake.
You gotta check him out.
But he doesn't rap like Drake at all. I don't know if you listen to Rock Marciano.
Yeah.
People might compare it a little bit to that, but it's still not that. I just say that just to maybe entice someone to listen. But him, we have Highway. He's also used to rap too. He's on the Real Toronto, but his style is way more closer to ours now. He used to go by Dead Eyes. I don't know if you want me to say that.
The Real Toronto, like the documentary?
Yeah.
Which hood?
His name's Dead Eyes.
Well, which hood was that?
He's the Goonies. The Goonies. The
Yeah.
fucking, Finch.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
yeah. Okay,
So
okay.
boom. So him. We got Wiz, my brother Wiz Bonita. We got holy smokes, Cypher Soze. We got Daniel Son. We got who else? There's a bunch. Yo, in Toronto, there is so much. Like I'm gonna hurt feelings because I'm not saying some of these people that I even work with just in the city. There's such a movement. John Kabongo. There's such a movement
to him, yeah.
of people that are really nice and telling their story. I think the way we rap allows us. Okay, I might say this wrong. More vulnerable in the sense of we have to put a lot into it, right? So it's like more dense. So it takes the listener to also be someone that's also patient enough to listen. But don't get it confused. I have joints that I'm not going that hard, but you already placed me in a box that you feel pushing play, you're going to hear that, which is not true, which is a hard thing to get out the box. But a drill rapper is actually very vulnerable because he's talking about the murders he's doing, but it's just simplistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and it's not so much about the rhyme schemes as a vibe. And this is where the backpack thing I don't like to hear because Backpack just feels so mathematical and carved out. I'm still creating a vibe. I'm still matching the energy of the track to make it feel a certain way. Some things don't call for me to rap like how I rap on Glow XL. Some things might call for me to get, there's a joint, I have Tostitos vodka that's a little bit more up and friggin' a vibe, you know? So it's music creation all in itself. It's still a feeling. That's why I love the 50s. Like, I'm still generating. Would you call 50 a boom bap rapper? Would you call Cam a boom bap rapper? Would you call Jigga a boom bap rapper?
Jigga was
right, just because of the beat selection you're hearing.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
But
correct.
he's
even
still,
50 could be passed with his old shit too.
His old shit, but
even Cam, what the fuck?
Exactly. So, but like, he's not though on a big broad scale.
Yeah.
So that's where we're still trying to aim to be these type of people as far as creating a bigger plethora of support rather than just a niche. Right now we're niche because we had to display those skills, and this is why I tell the drill rappers. This is why Tory Lanez is fucking dope, because what's Tory Lanez gonna go do? Go hit Hot 97 and fucking rap his ass off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And even if I could say, let's say someone says, yo, you rap way better than Tory Lanez. Someone in my genre, niche lover, would say that. But coming from what you expect from him, the demand is not so high. So if one of these drill rappers ended up coming on one of those boom bap beats, let's say, just do one. I tell them, just carve your shit that you can do it, and surprise someone. You'll take your shit from here right all the way up, because people will be like, "Oh shit, I didn't expect that."
I know, because we don't want to hear the weak shit anymore.
Yeah,
like,
let me get one little radio freestyle that everyone fucks with.
Who is on your Mount Rushmore for Canadian hip hop?
Oh, Canadian?
Yeah.
Whew. Oh man.
Hold on 1 second, okay?
I feel like I should add a caveat in there.
Hold on 1 second. Which one? 3, 2, 1.
All right, Canadian hip hop.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore has to be Cardi up there. Drake has to be up there, 100%. After that, Ghetto Concept. But like their group, do they count as one?
Yeah, we can count them as one.
And for me, Citizen Kane.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah,
that's a
Digging in
solid
the
group.
crates right there. Okay.
Two groups and East End, West End, and then we got Cardi. That's like the four before Drake. I think Cardi was in line to be what Drake did with the music and Drake took it.
Yeah. Cardi was the guy, and then Drake took it to the whole new level. What are your thoughts on this? Well, first of all, the Drake battle.
I want to change one. And he's not really a rapper. Toba Chung, man. I don't know if you guys know who Toba Chung is.
He passed away, right?
Yeah. And he's from
he used to be with
Flemo.
JB.
Yeah. He's more reggae, I guess you could say, but he was out-of-worldly, extreme talent. So put 5 on mine, because I don't want to take off no one. Put 5 on mine.
All right. Okay. What are your thoughts on the overall Kendrick-Drake battle, and then the aftermath of that, and now this defamation lawsuit? I mean, is it hip-hop? Is it not hip-hop? There's a lot of, obviously, conversation around this situation, and people grouping Canadians in a box.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. I think the most thing I'd speak on is that we're not like Drake, all of us. You know? And not to say that's a good or bad thing. Like, if you're like Drake, clearly it's a good thing because you're successful. Yeah. And it's financial. I mean, it depends what success is to you. Success for me is not that. I think that, and this is where we can go back to our conversation of WWF. We can go back to that conversation because it's what your internal ethics and code is. So if I'm willing, and I'm not mad at anyone willing, in fact, Drake clearly has a code, so he's sticking to his code of whatever that thing is that's generating our conversation. My code is not the same. I would not be able. I don't know if be able, because if I was put in that position, I'm just in the position. But I would not forcefully place myself in a position to, one, be talked about like that, to be smutted about like that, and also have a character that could be up for an example like that. But clearly, his character is out there that way, right? Just like even like him doing the little DeRozan talk on the thing, like
that's crazy.
I don't have a character that way. Even if I see a man in a crowd, and clearly he has power to be able to be on a microphone. He has power to be on the microphone in the game, and then to go and mention a guy that just to break him down, possibly. I have, especially if I forget money I have. Me right now with the exact dollar I have right now, I wouldn't have that type of thing to even care to do that.
Yeah.
Why? Like, you know, like, okay, that's a guy, he put in, there's two different things. He put in work, even if I didn't fuck with him. He put in work on the basketball, and he raised up we wouldn't have a championship with DeRozan. We wouldn't. Like, trading him was a big part of his value, was valuable for us to get a chip.
Yep.
So all that type of stuff is that's the corny thing. And I don't think that when I travel a lot to the States, and I have, in the midst of the Drake and shit, my dude Feo, salute Feo from LA, he's calling me the whole time and literally calling me, and tracks are dropping while he's calling, talking to me. I'm just like, yo, bro, this person doesn't represent us. Like, he's rapping his ass off, but like, you're not. I think Americans are so patriotic down to everything they do.
Yeah, they're making it like us versus them type of thing.
That everything they do down to their politics is like Buffalo Bills. I'm a rock for Buffalo Bills no matter fucking what.
Yeah.
Lose, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm more of like a player person. Melo was my favorite player. Penny was my favorite player first. Then Melo was my favorite player. And Melo went from Denver to New York. I'm a New York Knicks fan. You know, because Melo's there.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I operate. I don't know if that's more loyal or less loyal, but I don't give a fuck. There's nuance within everything.
Everything. Yeah.
So now when I'm talking to him, like, yo, Drake is rapping his ass off. Yes. And he's doing all that. Now that becomes something that's objective. I like Drake more, or you like Kendrick more. That's an objective opinion. Me personally, if you want to hear my opinion, I like Kendrick more because he comes from, to me, it's way more artistic. Like, I can maintain Drake's flow if I'm already in that bag to flow that way. Like, it's an easier way to pair, but he's getting it. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy because he's getting a lot of thoughts out and he's cohesive and it's dope. But artistically, I just think Kendrick's better. That's objective. I'm not here to fight anyone.
No, for sure. For sure.
Now, that doesn't make me now the whole thing of these people who they are, the appearance seems like, I just wrote something like, I'm light-skinned, but I got a dark-skin energy aura. It just feels like Kendrick's energy is more of an energy that I relate to because
it's definitely a dark skin
aura. I'm closer to a Hotep type of nigga than I am to a fucking flossy Puff Daddy type of nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm closer to that person. So Drake, just as a personality, doesn't. It's not what I see. But maybe behind closed doors, if I talk to Drake and talk to Kendrick, might be corny as fuck. And this is the thing. When I'm behind those scenes, behind those curtains, and me starting to learn this shit, it makes me hate it. I hate the industry. Because not everyone, 90% of the people I've met are fucking losers. They're losers. They're not cordial. They don't have the ethics that they have. And it might be because they're already too boxed in. The legends have been boxed in. They've already been like, oh, I have to watch my distance. I can't get close to you because I don't know what could happen. I don't come from that. I can, every time I walk in a room, if there's 8 other niggas here, yo, peace. Yo, peace. Yo, peace. Yo, peace. Them niggas might say they do shit like that. They don't. They're judging you off what your appearance is. And it's even worse when you're Canadian. Oh, we're in Canada over here? We can stomp on you guys because you're not really from. No, we are really from. You know why we're really from? Because reggae is the set-off of all this shit, if we want to talk about hip-hop. You know what's the best breath control? Any fucking reggae artist in the world. Anyone. The flows of how you're dancing, KRS-One's an example. How they dance, that's reggae. Hip-hop is the son of reggae. I don't care. I'm not here to debate you. It's my opinion.
Hip-hop is the son of reggae. Wow.
Yes, to me, in my opinion.
No, and that's fair because,
and
go ahead.
The breath control, all the performance, ask anyone, any superstar legend down to Busta Rhymes, he can't perform after a reggae artist.
No.
Not after a Buju. Not after a Shaba.
No.
Not after not one of these guys. Beanie, look at Versus. Look at what that did.
Yeah.
You think those American people knew those guys? That is the most sell-off one. They don't know them like we know them. So when our hip-hop is from this reggae culture, why do we rap like this for the most part? Why Drake can rap in boom bap? Drake can rap in boom bap.
He could.
Because it's from the reggae culture. It's from the West Indian culture. All our talks is from West Indian culture. It's not from the Philly shit or that grimy Brooklyn shit. Even Brooklyn, it's fucking reggae. It comes from it.
The FBAs are gonna come after you.
And
I don't care.
And a lot of the rappers were like, I think second or first generation West Indies, Jamaicans,
more than likely.
Because there's been a big debate about that, who was there
and
for
the Ricans and all this type of stuff.
Fat Joe got in some hateful with it.
All that shit. Who cares? Hip hop is a culture. Who cares?
You okay?
Sorry.
Get that shit.
God damn.
That thirst hit him. Hit him like a ton of You okay? I see him
Like
get
he's
up.
in the desert. Niggas like,
This is motherfucker.
mid-question, this nigga got
That's
up.
coffee in there, right?
This is no latte. Try
Yeah, latte. So that dehydrated you.
Yeah.
You needed that.
I need
I
this.
seen the move. I seen the move.
I'm like,
I seen
oh
what
my god,
happened.
I can't even think straight. No, but you know what's so crazy? It's a shame. It's a shame that the conversation is coming up because, statistically, like if you look at numbers statistically,
Yeah.
there was a lot of Puerto Ricans in New York
100%.
at the time hip hop was growing up,
For sure.
and like I find it kind of crazy that the FBAs are just singling out the West Indians.
Yeah, what's the FBA again? I think I just said it.
Foundational
So
Black American.
American. Okay.
Yeah, so FBA is basically what typically
Saw
like
that Twitter.
if you're like 8th generation American,
Oh, okay. So
you know,
that.
then
And
you're
this
that.
is we don't have that in Canada.
yeah.
No, we
don't
don't.
have-
Not yet, though.
Not yet. We're getting there, and
Yeah.
I hope when we get there, it's not.
In Scotia,
"Yo,
there's a
dog."
few people who
I hope-
are Scotia.
Scotia.
Yeah, Scotians.
Oh,
yeah.
But
Scotians
they
are-
let in everybody. They let in everybody. Like Scotians are
Oh,
cool.
but
man.
you have
Scotians are the only
Scotians over
ones,
there
yeah.
who are like 5 generations deep.
I've
Way
never
more
seen
way
a
more than
snobby Scotian.
Yo, a Scotian, there's way more. They're like 10, 15. A lot of if you're catching a man that loves hockey on any block, that's an OG man.
It's a Scotian
He's a
nigga.
Scotian guy.
He's a
Yeah,
Scotian
He might
guy.
be dark skinned as ever,
Yeah.
and he's Scotian.
Yeah.
And he loves hockey,
Yeah.
and he loves his block, and he's been in Canada, his family, for at least 10 to 15 years,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
15 generations.
15 generations.
Yeah.
10 to 15.
Which is
That's an
crazy.
original port of dropping off slaves.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
or
100.
people trying to escape, one or the other. So, yo, the thing is, America and us are same and different.
Right.
But we're new. So we're going to have this upward battle. Like I just said, I don't have no Belizeans out here. My mom has like a face group that she started for Belizeans in Canada. There's like 120, right? But there's tons of us in LA, tons of us in
Is that
Texas.
Belize?
Belize.
Okay.
And in New York too.
Tons in New York, big community, big Texas, LA, New York, Chicago.
Mm.
So now those people that go over there though, they become American. My aunts and uncles, a lot of them lose their accent by the time they're there in 5 to 10 years, like fully, fully. So America's very much melting pot the most. We still maintain our culture a lot. That we're like our parents. If I go probably to anyone's home, you're gonna hear a little bit of tone of an accent, no matter what.
My dad has been in Canada 50 years, and his accent got worse.
Yeah, my dad too. My dad.
The Jamaican accent got thicker.
God. Yeah, it can't stop. So, and that's I think I'm proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of that. When I come, like, yo, my dad is Spanish, right? My mom's black.
Mm-hmm.
But when they hear my dad, like, your dad speaks patois? I thought you're Spanish. Like, no.
No, Belize
we don't
is-
speak.
is-
We speak English first.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
speak Creole, English Creole.
Right,
So
right.
it's, my dad has his little husky voice, and he sounds like he's speaking patois. And man's are like, that's your dad? Like, yeah, that's my dad. Like,
Yeah.
this is what it is. So me, I've always been reaching to explain my culture the whole time, and naturally, I'm going to get along with the West Indians because we're very similar.
Right.
But then the Spanish come. I don't know no Spanish. I'm lost in that sauce, so I don't belong there either. So it's like, for me, I understand the fuck. So when I look at the big board and I'm looking at this Drake Canada and all this accents, and I'm like, it's a fuck. Like, it's too much nuances to explain.
Yeah.
And we don't know who that human is really.
Yeah.
At home.
We don't.
We don't. So we see little interviews of him with his like Jewish people and like the dinner where he's like, yeah, these black guys do that. But like, he could have been, what, 12, 13 years old?
He was
And-
young.
He was 15 at the time. He was a grown
but he
ass-
doesn't know who he
grown-ass
is,
kid.
clearly, at that
15?
point.
Come on, he's a kid still.
I'd
I'd say 13.
On the
I'd say-
grown side.
it looks like he's about to go to prom, like
Yeah,
grade
yeah,
8 prom.
yeah.
Now, I don't identify with it because I'm not growing up in a place like that. But I do identify with that being something because it's like, yo, he doesn't know who he is, and that's fine. But maybe now he does. And maybe he found his people, his tribe. And that's fair. You have to have that leeway. But at the same time, what he's selling us, everything's up. Everything's up now. All your little things, all your Degrassi things is up. That's going
gone.
to weigh on your character unfairly. But I'm not upset for you. I don't feel no type of, oh, I feel bad, or I feel happy that he's losing. Yo, you are making way more money than any one of us. You think he should be able to sleep at night. And if he can't, that's the sad part.
That's the sad part. That's the sad part. I will add this caveat, though. It is a heavy burden on a person when you have
whole
globally
culture.
people calling you
a pedophile.
a pedo.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
That regardless of money, that's gonna bother me. It's not good for your
100%.
brand. there's going to be some sort of repercussions because there's ignorant people out there who actually will buy into that and believe it. And
feed that.
And narrative. Feed that. And the fact that you're like with every step, every rebuttal towards this whole Kendrick thing, the lawsuits, it feeds the flames more. So with this defamation lawsuit, streaming is going to go up for that song. If Kendrick wasn't going to perform it at the Super Bowl, he's probably going to do it now because of the defamation lawsuit, just because.
Yeah, he's going to do things.
So it's like, man, I really feel for him in that sense because, like, you know, certain labels, you could be called many things, but there are a couple of things, if you're called that and you have the whole world repeating that, it's going to eat at your soul.
I feel like Drake. I feel like
I can't lie.
How long is his run now? Like 15 years now?
15, 16 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he has.
Well, you've been said he's over.
So one, I think his
what over and what sense?
So like, you know how Nelly had a run, had a long run, and like it's even fair to say
not as long as Drake, not compared to
but like they had a run, they had like international, like everybody knew a Nelly song, like,
for sure.
Every mom, white mom in the suburbs
100%.
knew Hot in Here, you know what I mean? But with Drake, I feel he's been in the industry so long that the mob ties Drake, right, is something that
one that's tough.
I believe that character. I feel like he is that kind of guy. Like the mob ties. I feel like he could turn that up if he wants to.
You're capping right now. You're potting right now. You don't believe that.
I believe that. I honestly
Dude, you forget conversations
he could
we've
be like
had.
a mob boss.
Like he's been so far removed from like his previous life, where now
100%.
he is what he.
You're potting right now.
So I'll watch what I'm going to say to you. Here's a rebuttal for you guys. What do you think the president can do?
The president?
Yeah. What do you think, Trump or Obama? You don't think Obama and Trump weren't nerds in fucking high school or something?
Yeah, 100%.
And then fucking could call a shot and get a man dead?
That's right.
You don't think Clinton was like, I'm sure you've heard Clinton's stories.
Right.
That his brother was like a drug dealer and stuff. Like, we're adjacent to this. So now you're playing no matter what at that level. I don't care how nerd you are. And this is, I'm coming from this point of view because I don't like to see it clearly. Like it doesn't fit with my soul. But at the same time, I understand it. Yeah. This is just logic for me. When I'm looking at him, like, okay, people are gonna be upset that I'm at this position for rapper, right? And they're gonna try me and be soft. Am I just supposed to be fucking, what's the other light-skinned one? That Logic? Okay. Am I supposed to be Logic and scurry away and, yo, guys, it's tough for me to be a mixed guy and not look mixed, you know? Like, or am I just going to turn up and be like, yo, fuck, let me take it over? Yeah. That's more dark-skinned type of energy if we want to compare it, right? Yeah. Like, let me go over this. And that's why a lot of mans fuck with it. But at the same time, it's not from his root, right? So the most important part for him is his camp. Like, who's beside you that's not envious of you? Who's beside you that now has almost the same amount, your vice president of your company, who has the same amount of power damn near outside that could be tearing you down? And that's what he might be fighting if this is actually a real thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And this battle is
the heavy's the head that wears the crown.
I'm telling you. And it's a cautionary tale for people who are up there in the industry before you go into a battle, because we all know there are no rules in battle.
None.
But if there's a narrative out there, understand your opposition is going to play on that narrative. There was two narratives out there. Drake being a pedo and Kendrick being a domestic violence abuser. The pedo shit stuck.
Because people want to see the top.
It was already there with the videos and all of that shit.
They want to see the top guy fall.
Yeah.
Who the real thing is, be careful when you ask to be a billionaire. Be careful. Because unfortunately in our culture, billionaire is face forward. In our culture, when you make a lot of money, we know how much money you make. In their culture, we don't know. Yo, we could be walking past fucking billionaires every day, especially out here in these places. Yep. You go by Bathurst. You could be walking past a billionaire and don't know who the fuck he is. His money is not put on the fucking main line to say he makes $500 million over 5 years. He's not Juan Soto, $700 million over 10 years. We don't know how much they make.
Yep.
So that Drake could be living next to a dentist. That is the dentist of all these niggas and making more money next to them. And we don't know who he is.
Yeah.
So strive for that billionaire money to be in a category like that. In a category where I'm a doctor and I'm privatized business. I'm fucking only guys we know is Elon Musk, who likes showing his face. fucking the Amazon nigga who likes showing his face.
Bezos.
Only people we know that really are getting money that are face forward is like a handful of these guys. Otherwise, those white guys, Arab guys, we don't even know what they look like.
No.
And they're making billions. Now, Heavy is the head of the crown of the dude wearing that money. Because all we see on Drake's head is like, yo, he has a jet. He has a house out there in Forest Hill. He has all this fucking bread. We know that. So people are not going to like you just off that subconsciously. It might not even be conscious. Subconsciously. Like that, he's not. There's no way in my mind I think Drake is a better human than I am. More quality human or more talented. He might be on their opinion. I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
If I'm a hater, I'm be like, yo, I'm worth that money. And there's a million people like that.
Yep.
There's a million people like that. So he's going to get it. And he knows that.
One thing I love seeing, man, is you and your queen, her in your music videos, you guys together. Because, you know, I love seeing, you know, what do you call it? Black love? Black love. You know what I mean?
Shout to Remy and Papoose, right?
Yeah.
Black love.
Yo, she looks crazy. She looks crazy, man.
Didn't just do that.
She looks crazy.
You know what?
I know how you guys move. So
she looks
And
crazy.
for a minute, I bought into it. I was like, 2 years back, I'm like, yo, this is the black couple. I want that.
Yeah.
Never put any relationship, nobody on a pedestal, because you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And lo and behold, this shit is messy.
As fuck.
I hope things could work out for the sake of their children.
She looks crazy, man. She looks
But-
crazy. Makes me sick to my stomach when I see her at the battles with the dude. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What prompted that? Because I know for a lot of rappers, they kind of want to keep their personal life, you know, private and off social media.
Oh, yeah, great
you
question.
know, and there's a lot of haters out there who would just say shit about, you know, the queen and all that shit. Yeah.
You know what? I think for me, just because I know I'm coming from a different angle on a totally different thing, and I need to be vulnerable. I'm trying to commit to the vulnerability of myself within the music. And why do I need to lie? Like, I'm just trying to take a different angle than everyone's angle. You know, and I'm not hiding my queen. I always rap about my wife all the time. But at the same time, why I dropped that quick thing about Remy and Papoose, everything is not perfect. It's not hard to maintain a relationship. It's hard to fucking maintain a relationship.
That part.
And I
It's a
love her,
full-time job.
and it's ill. And even when we had this kid right now, if I had this kid, I tell her all the time, if I had this kid 5 years ago, bruh, I don't know if we make it. But because we've put in so much time to each other, it's the most beautiful thing in the world that we have our relationship, how we have it, because nothing's going to break it. Ever. Like, me and her will never, ever be broken. There's nothing no one could
How
say.
long have you been with her?
I've been with her probably like 15 years.
Woo!
And I got married in 2019. So even all those things, there's no blueprint, bruh. Like, everything you do has to be for you. There's no way like, oh, it should take 5 years. I had my thing like, I got to live with a woman for a year before I marry her. I lived with her for like 6 or 7, 8 years before, maybe more, before I married her. It's because it's whatever. If she's for you, I only did it based off, let's break the statistic. We got it now. We got some properties. We could do what we want. Let's break some statistics. I married her without a child. So it was to show, yo, this is what this is. This is a commitment. I'm not playing around no more. Obviously, I did some bullshit before. We've gone through that. That's not everyone. You don't need to do bullshit. Your time is your time. I wish I never did bullshit. I wish we just smoothed it out and have this perfect thing. But the reality is, niggas got to be niggas at some point. Get all your shit out. And trust me, you don't want to fuck up the one thing that you got that it's real. Because you won't find... Yo, if anything, the worst happened, let's say we freaking broke up or something, that would be because it was at the dire limit and I'd never get married again. But I could never say that would happen. It just won't happen. Like, it won't.
What are you saying, man? This is amazing.
I can see he's really genuine about it.
Yeah.
Girls right now are like, God, why can I find a
it's
nigga
hard,
like that?
bro. And
He
she's
married her, too?
She's dealing with a rapper. So on top of it,
that's
mind it. Like when I'm going to all these shows and backstage, and I'm not even some popular rapper, and it still comes from me. I'm a good looking dude at the same.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to. I'm chubby, but I'm good looking.
Coming out.
Yeah, so they're gonna
They love the chubby niggas, yo. They love the chubby niggas.
I'm a flirt. Like I flirt with the 60-year-old cashier at No Frills that looks mucky, that looks fucking slumpy.
They love
I'm a
that. They
flirt
love
with
that.
her
They love that.
because that's who I am. So
Yeah,
my
yeah,
wife
yeah.
kind of knows who. This is where I talk about the 15, 16 years because it took her time to get over all the things, and it took me time to get over her things. There's compromise, but there's not selling out. So my compromises aren't changing who I am as a character. Her compromises aren't changing who she is as a character. If I'm her happiness and she's my happiness, that won't work. If I depend on her, a lot of these rich niggas, this is the problem. The rich niggas are funding this person's life. So when he comes home, everything he does is her happiness, my joy that I get, my traveling. My wife could be independent. My wife could pay her own bills without me. Yeah. I could pay my own bills without my wife. It doesn't matter. So now we're at that stalemate. So that's done. So now we go to, am I happy with finding a career? My wife's happy finding her career. Boom. Our only problem we had ever was having a kid. That was the thing we never thought would happen. And it ended up happening. God gave us that at the right time. I'm 40 years old with a kid just starting. Like, to me, my mom, my dad, 18 and 19. At 40, we're hooping, we're fucking hanging, drinking, smoking, doing all this shit together. I just think about, like, holy, what am I going to be at 60? But I don't feel still 40. Young. I feel 20. It feels like a different generation. It feels different. Like, I'm not going to be, my dad's fresh. My dad's a freshie. You know, so he's going to be a certain way. I'm not going to be that. I'm going to be more, this is where now we're coming more American because we're raising our kid with whatever our accent is, whatever those things are. That's going to be in the home primarily. When they go to grandma and grandpa, they're going to hear Creole. They're going to hear all that type of stuff. But it's funny, man.
Salute to Asa.
You're in New York a lot.
Beautiful.
You're in New York a lot.
Oh, yeah. We go back and forth to New York a lot.
Yeah. How often?
I'd say at least right now, we could just say once a year. For me, especially, like, I have a sister. My older sister was raised in New York. She's half sister, right? So, like, I always had New York influence, just going back and forth from young and before, back in those days, getting gear and all these type of things that you could just do on the internet now. You couldn't have fly shit unless you left the country. Like, getting some. How old are you guys?
I'm 36.
I'm 45.
You're
so
45.
I know,
so you know even
the Patrick
more.
Ewing era, all of that.
Yo, you had to go over there. Woo wear, getting anything that's crazy, some wallabies, we had certain things, but not the
Yes.
I remember when Fat Farm jean suits or Rockaware jean suits, all these things that didn't exist. Pulling up in New York, and then I'm coming to. I wasn't even going to school in grade 11, but I was going to school.
I was buying it over here
just to do fashion show shit, just to walk through school. Like, check me, look at me. You know,
Just
I have
over there.
two-tone woo-wear wallabies on. You guys never see nothing like that. Uptowns and all these type of things that weren't like. So I always felt myself in like a confidence of like, yo, I'm different. But then, you know, like, that's why I worry about what our accent is gonna be in 2 more generations. Like, are we gonna, yo, wagwan dog, yo fam, yo, still differently, still, man. Like, are we gonna be? Are our kids gonna be like that? Yeah. I went to a high school to talk at a high school, and I heard a white girl at the locker in like grade 9. Like, she looked like the girl when I was going to high school. The girl that would be like quiet, and she's like, yo, fam, yo, wagwan, fam. Yo, doggy. Yo, doggy.
Yo, stop being a bucksy. Stop being a bucksy, yo.
You're acting des, fam. Yo, all those type of things.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I blame
we had guys that talk like that a little bit, but not everyone talk like that all the time.
No, I feel like it's the only.
My kid is not talking like that.
Yeah, it's only the white people. Who talk
I'll joke around with them and mess with them like that. Like, I'm gonna do that. Like, you're still from Toronto, and it's really West Indian a little bit. Those slangs. Yeah. But like how it's so driven. Like when I see like the Arab and the Indian guy and all these things, I'm
it's
like,
corny as hell.
It's weird. It looks weird from my generation.
There's one kid. I can't like City Boy J or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I don't watch it.
You know, he's like a Sri Lankan Scarborough kid who's like a fucking internet sensation.
Oh my gosh.
He looks racially ambiguous, by the way, too. He looks a little more black, and
really?
and
so he gets it off more.
And he does the accent thing. It's the most corniest and cringy thing on earth.
Crazy.
And that's just kind of played out now.
Yeah, it's OD. And then like, because even when I go to New York right now, they're like, yo, we hear the Toronto accent and how I talk right now. I'd be like, it's funny because when I'm in Toronto, they think I sound like I'm from New York. But like, it's not. And that's why I know how I talk is regular. That's how I know. I'm fine with how I talk. I don't need to. I'll still say some Toronto Tourette's will come out. Like, it's just natural. Like, yo, still.
So are they saying you're vocally ambiguous?
I'm vocally ambiguous. I like that. Vocally ambiguous. That's a new one.
That's a new one.
That's a VA.
Yo, this is your unc's favorite podcast, by the way.
So what's up next for you, man? Like what's 2025, new year?
I'm gonna be honest, bro.
Yeah.
See, I already know where you're going. I'm sorry for cutting you off because I haven't talked to nobody in a long time. I've been in four corners. My son's 8 weeks old, so I've just been sitting at home watching. You know, so I feel like this is a kid's game, bro. I felt like such a kid when my son was born. Like, yo, I'm chasing kid dreams. It feels like that. Now, mind you, I've made money off this, whatever. I want to obviously make this a thing, my career.
Yes.
But Drake is not the goal. Like that's a dream for real. There's a lot of dudes, like when I see the Cardis or even at a lower level than Cardi, like JB, salute JB, and that's not even a disrespectful way. These brothers are creating businesses.
Yes.
We have a lot of grant things and a lot of things, even JD Era. Those brothers, they've been doing this music thing and living off straight music.
Salute to JD.
And so it's very possible, right? And I just need to get more into the business. And I've come to the realization with myself, like, because so we have things where we do like vinyl deals and we sell vinyl. So we have to output to maintain that money. So if let's say I create 4 albums a year and drop 4 albums and put vinyls on those 4 albums, I might be able to come out with a 40,000 American just off that alone. But is that realistic to maintain for a career at 40?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I mean, with a 9 to 5 on the side.
And that's where fuck a 9 to 5 on the side. That's what I'm talking about.
True. I hear you. For 40K on its own,
USD
is not a lot.
Not a lot, but when you do taxes and when you do whatever.
True, exactly.
Now, if I do shows and features and all these type of things, now I can add up to 60 USD, and now we're shaking the taxes a little bit. We're doing a little thing. It's not a lot of money, but there's a light where you can see some light. But I don't see the light in the fact of, like, I don't want to maintain that output for the rest of my life. That doesn't make sense.
I hear you.
Right? So touring and all those things, everything's adding up and there's more light and more light. But when I see the realization of myself to make me I just want to be in music industry, you know? Yeah. I look at this whole rapping thing as a pamphlet. Like, even with the pod, like, that might be something more up my avenue where I can talk, because now Joe Buttons is behind the scene. I could tell some stories about some of these niggas. I've talked to a lot of we've done shows. All the people you see, we've done shows. I've talked to these niggas, and I have stories, but I'm not Corinne Steffens out here. I'm not gonna be fucking selling those stories. But I say this to say that I'm trying to figure out whether it's the new young dudes, because there's a lot of young dudes. We've set up a staple in the city where it's like, yo, I want to rap like you, and we're trying to create molds. You know, I haven't said some of their names, mold them, producers, whatever. And now I can see, like, I wish I was 20 with what I have right now. Because I could see the let's take time and A&R this person. Let's create a monster that can speak in an interview, that knows how to talk, that knows what they're doing, and go from that lane to this lane and this lane to that lane, and train him on music, and then train him as a person, and then let his natural character come out and be confident and have everyone, because all the cosigns make you confident, and all these things make you confident. Now you can move wherever. So I want 2025 for me this year. Now, to go back to your question, I am dumping music. I have so much. I record, like, I had two studio sessions, my first 2 since my son was born, in the last week, 2 hours each. I recorded 16 songs in those 2.
Can we come out to a
anytime?
Yeah,
anytime. We'll set that up, and we should actually do a pod by my man Merciless.
Let's do it.
He has a setup, and we'll do
I've been
bring
wanting
some
to
of
talk
the
to
artists
him.
and stuff. We're gonna do something special, and I love baseball. I'm a big baseball fan, so I'm trying to get into the pod lane of doing baseball and hip hop, because it's not really so big out here, right? And within our culture, black people in baseball is not
anymore.
Cool anymore. No,
not anymore.
I
remember when I used to play baseball when I was a kid.
Me too.
I used to play it all the time.
I love baseball until the steroid era ended. A lot of people fell off. I just never fell off.
Baseball was my first love.
You know what? You're right. And up until the steroid era, it was like, okay, we're
when Ken Griffey's gone,
Barry Bonds.
If you look at even how they categorize it, there's like a stat, like there's only like 7% black players in baseball. And I look at that, I'm like, well, what do you mean? All the Spanish guys are black.
Yeah, the Dominicans.
They don't count them.
So black Americans. So now when you see that decrease, you see the popularity decrease within the black culture. So now there's no one cool that really talks about it. I'm like, yo, when we go to baseball game, I've been inviting some of the homies that haven't been into baseball, and me and Merciless will just talk baseball the whole game. And be like, yo, I understand why you guys can watch. We drink, we talk it, we tell like little stories about them, because there's so much players. Just like we know the soap operas of these players. Like we know the DeRozan things. We know his depression. We know Kevin Love's depression. We know every little Kyrie Irving's going on. All that shit is happening. There's man's jerking off in cars in baseball. There's man's doing crazy shit. And we know their stories. Like, yo, this guy, whatever. And those are the type of things we can now come.
That'd be cool,
culture.
dude. That'd be really fucking cool. That'd be fucking amazing.
Really
That'd be really cool.
These are type of things just to help the music. Because I was trying to say this. This is a pamphlet. Hip hop and rapping and getting into knowing me. It's just my pamphlet. Now we want to turn the pamphlet into a portfolio. And what we are going to get paid off of is the other things. You think Fab and them, they're not really making money off the music per se, as much as whatever streams. I'm not trying to count. I don't think streams pay anymore. You're going to get a sponsorship. Now you're such a known person. You're going to get a Kith ad. You're going to do all these things that are going to give you that money because it's all it is ads. Everything's an ad. So the ads pay you. What you guys want is someone to pay you guys for ads.
100. Send us a check.
Send a check.
I need 250,000
because they speak, and you guys are honest. They see it in your eyes when I talk. When I see you guys on the pod, no matter if I agree or not, you guys are honest. And that's all you could ask for.
I respect that. I appreciate that. That means a lot. That really means a lot, man. For sure.
So you gave your Canadian Mount Rushmore. You're 40 years old. When was the first time you heard hip hop, and what was your favorite track?
When I first, like I said, I was born in Belize, right? And I came here, my dad. So in those countries, it's all bare top 40. And then you have like rockers, rockers was a big thing. Like, you're the Byron Lee and all these like, Belize is not really so much soca. We have our own thing called punta, which is like a variation.
Of dancehall?
Of like, kind of like soca, but like more even Africanized.
Okay.
Right? Because we have a community called Gary Funa. And they're like an African diaspora where they speak their own language still to this day. Dark maroons. They're really like from the maroon tribe. And Gary Funa is there, so that's where punta came from. And it's like really just a lot of waist whining and drums, heavy drums, and like that type of energy. So and we have our carnival, and we love dancehall. If you bring any dancehall artist that exists has gone to Belize and love Belize.
Yeah, right? Belize on the list,
big time. So with that being said, hip hop wouldn't be natural for me, but I came here when I was 2, and my dad ended up coming here, and I go back and forth to Belize all the time. I even went to school in grade 4 here. I did a whole year out there. My dad came here, and he's a party man. That's why I salute him, because my dad had to make a choice at 18, 19, like, do I just stay in Belize and become a Belizean man on the beach and sell his weed and his coke and to tourists and shit, or do I come here and try and take a big risk? Because my mom happened to be born in Canada. That's the only reason we came here. My grandma my grandpa was on like a trip, and they went to Vancouver, and she stayed in Vancouver for 1 week when she was born and raised in Belize. She had her papers. So she just came here. She's like, I'm taking my son, and I don't care who's here. I'm just going to try and make something happen. So my dad comes, and we lived at VP in Eglinton, Eccleston over there.
Oh, yeah.
And the first floor he came selling weed, brought like 5 pounds the first time he came, and he met every Jamaican man, down to like some of Fury's people. Like, this is the funny part of like the coincidences of life. And then we lived in Dower too. We lived in a lot of places. Stonehill, 10 Stonehill lived there. And the first record I remember seeing, he used to have parties every weekend. First floor, people just come over. The smell of weed, I know it. So from like 4 or 5 years old, the first one I'm seeing is Ice-T, Power. With friggin' Darlene on the back with her ass. I remember seeing that record, and I'd be like, Dad, put this on. And he'd play it. So Ice-T would probably be the first one, but the person that probably I know most and like would know the song would be LL Cool J. Would be like, Mama Said Knock You Out, like those type of joints. And that would be like my first introduction. But then now I moved a lot. I went to a lot of public schools, and I ended up in this one co-op called Berwick, and this co-op kind of formed me a lot. So by the time between kindergarten and grade 8, I went to 8 different public schools besides Belize. So we moved a lot. All co-ops. Like I said, Stonehill, we moved to I went to Precious Blood. I went to if you know in those communities in Scarborough, I went to like everyone.
Yeah.
There's a school called Precious Blood?
Precious Blood, yeah. That's like Warden and Pharmacy in Lawrence.
Yeah, it's the men's, yeah.
Yeah, over there.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, Precious Blood. And then, so
it's a Catholic school.
Yeah, Catholic school. So then, boom. Now, what the last stop we had in Scarborough was Dower, and my grandma came to visit us from Belize on my dad's side. She's a very proud woman, and we ordered double pizza,
which is probably the best pizza in Scarborough
at that time, especially. And we put it down, turned our back. My dad opened up the pizza, and there's just German cockroaches all on the pizza, just fully. And my grandma came, and I just remember looking at my dad. She's looking at my dad and just started crying, like tears, just like just tears rolling out. Like, this is what you've done. This is who you are. You know, my dad's still kind of in his party mode, like, you know. So when I, like me being a kid witnessing that, my dad goes downstairs. My dad's like still trying to find God, find his way in the world type of shit. And a woman goes to him like, yo, you need to get your kids out of here because they found a kid in the dumpster right here. This is Dower. Mind you, this is Fury's block that Fury's growing up on. And I'm probably living at the same place, but I'm in grade 6 at this time, right? So that my parents started looking around. They had these Belizean people that they met that they kind of knew when they were young, but they lived in Richmond Hill. And there's a co-op in Richmond Hill called Berwick. And this co-op was kind of new at the time. And we moved, so everyone from the West End was kind of migrating to this co-op. So the beautiful part about this co-op, it's all Jamaican, but there's no opposition. So it's not dangerous. The co-op is very fucking together.
Oh, and it's strict, too.
It's strict.
And it's strict. You can't be fucking around.
Yeah. So they had actually 5%ers in the co-op. And I didn't know nowhere else that had this. And 5%ers of brothers used to bring the Quran and read the Quran with us and show us all these things and teaching. And we had some brothers that lived in New York that were living in the co-op too. So they're coming back and forth with whether it would be like And One mixtapes or clothes. And so I think that was like grade 7 and grade 8. That was a big learning time. And Wu-Tang was all they played was Wu-Tang. So I had all the tapes, I had all the stuff coming from New York, I had this stuff coming from the 5% brothers. So that put me in a world of hip hop of just like, yo, I didn't listen to nothing besides maybe Biggie, Snoop, and Mobb Deep. I didn't listen to any other hip hop but Wu-Tang. That's it. Like every Wu-Tang, down to like Remedy, down to like the Sons of Man, down to like Killer Priest, down to La the Dark Man, down to the Affiliates. Like, if you see my room back in those days, I had every friggin' cassette tape or CD or whatever. Any money I got was buying that, or tapes getting dubbed from whoever got it too. So now I just became this person. I just need East Coast rap, East Coast rap, East Coast rap, East Coast rap. And
that's what's up.
That formed me now.
I got. You remember the segment we used to do called This or That, where we'll ask our guests 10 questions and give them 2 options, and they gotta try to go through this. I'm gonna try to freestyle this.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you 2 options, and you just tell me, and we go from there. MJ or LeBron?
MJ.
Oxtail or jerk chicken?
Oxtail.
Mobb Deep or Wu-Tang?
Wu-Tang.
Biggie or Nas?
Biggie.
Barry Bonds or Ken Griffey?
Whoo!
Got him.
I think I have to say Ken Griffey, but I want to say why.
Yeah.
I think Barry Bonds is probably the greatest ever. I honestly believe that, and Merciless is going to battle me. I think he's the greatest ever. Obviously, the steroid allegation, but I don't care about the steroid allegation. I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame because no matter what, there's 100 niggas right now take steroids, not hitting home runs like that. His swing is elite. I think he would have done close to those numbers regardless. Maybe 60 less home runs. He probably would have hit like a 61. He would have broke records no matter what, not those 72 in a year and all that type of shit. But like, Ken Griffey is like overall package, like the sweetest swing, the fucking style, swaggy, you know, the Nike
Michael Jordan,
shit, the shoes.
He was a
like,
Michael Jordan.
He's a little bit more. I could see Barry Bonds being a dickhead, like in real life.
Oh, for sure, I felt that.
But the kid is just That's 90s.
Yeah. Big ass or big boobs?
Holy.
Got him.
So this is a thing. Because you said big ass or big boobs.
Yeah.
Big boobs, but I need a shape. The shape matters more than the bigness of it. I don't need the shit to be crazy. If you're talking about the shape of ass and shape of boobs, it'd be ass. But if it was,
This man's digging
but
into
if
the
it-
nuance.
yeah. But because you said big, it's big boob. I love boobies, man. I'm a movie connoisseur. I'm a nipple connoisseur. I like titties. I
I'm
like
not gonna
titties.
front. I'm the same way, but I was reading an article. It was saying, this is just my. I don't know why my fucking.
Algorithms.
No, it was like I became so this.
Your Twitter is
oh,
wild.
No, yeah,
Your
man.
Twitter is
Articles.
pornography.
No. I was reading an article. I was reading an article saying that if you like boobs, you're more inclined to be financially irresponsible if you like boobs. If you're a butt guy, you're more financially responsible.
That's a goddamn lie. Because I'm a butt guy and I'm broke. Damn broke. That's a goddamn lie. Who came up with that shit?
Yeah, how does that correlate?
So it was just an article I read, and so I forced myself to be a butt guy.
When did he start?
I want to be more responsible financially.
You think that's gonna help her freaking?
Yes, it will.
Help her credit score like
This guy changes natural condition so he can get money. You're
like-
disgusting, bro. This guy- I'm a butt guy now
He
because
believes everything, yo. Oh, at least.
It's terrible.
Little Kim or Nicki Minaj?
oh my gosh. No, I'm gonna say Nicki. She's an evolution. I'm gonna get hate for that. I fuck with Lil Kim. Lil Kim pissed me off because she changed herself facially and shit.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, she was
I
so
love
hot.
Lil Kim, bro.
She was hot
Like
in
one of the
99.
hottest ever. And then, Nicki's probably done the same surgery. It's just new age, so it works better. But and even Nicki looks crazy a little bit to me sometimes.
Yeah.
you know? But
Lil' Kim.
Nicki's. If we're gonna talk, and let's be responsible. We're not talking about aesthetics. We're talking about rapping. I think that obviously it paves a way for. Lil' Kim paves a way for Nicki Minaj, but Nicki Minaj is outstanding. Her rapping is outstanding. She's crazy. She's competing with niggas, straight up. Her and Remy Ma.
Do you have a couple more you want to throw out there?
Hot dogs or pizza?
Huh?
Hot dogs or pizza?
Pizza.
At a baseball game?
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I got him.
A glizzy.
We got him.
A glizzy. Yo, you need a dog at the baseball game.
Yeah,
All
how
beef,
you eating? How you eating
no
it?
pork.
With a knife?
No pork. You gotta rip it. Break it.
That's hilarious.
Little pieces.
That's hilarious.
Drake or Tory?
Oh, just
Musically, just musically, lyrically.
it's Drake.
Actually, huh?
It has to be Drake. I prefer. That's a tough one. I think I'll give it to Tory. Let's give it to Tory for this thing. But I think that Drake has done so much more. It's kind of I'm just being the guy who I naturally am of the underdog, But Tory is disgusting too.
Yeah.
He does it, but Drake raps more than Tory.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
So if especially the rapper wise, it has to be Drake. Has to be Drake.
Money or respect?
Respect.
Yeah.
And what's
Money-
that 10?
Money doesn't last. Money changes. Money's ever changing. Money's a flow. Money is a lake. Money is the riverbank. Money is the ocean. Sometimes it's really deep. Sometimes you can't even go into the fucking middle of the ocean. But sometimes it goes low and then you can maneuver. Money is just, you got to respect money, in fact. Respect it. Don't love it. Don't admire it. Don't idolize it. Respect it. It'll always touch here. And then you got to recycle responsibly. If you don't recycle responsibly, it's tougher to get it. But if you're always, I find whenever I'm really trying to pull money, it doesn't come. When I'm just all right, I'm doing all the things around it. It's all it is a tool, man.
I love that.
What's that 10? I kind of lost track.
You're at 8.
2 more.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne or 50 Cent?
50. 100%.
Do you got one?
Yeah, Carter 2 or Carter 3?
Carter 3.
Carter 3?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
With the Lollipop and a
Lollipop,
Milli?
all that shit. Yeah, for sure.
wrong with Lollipop?
100%. I think he was talking a little bit more. Carter 2, he was way more the production is ill. I have all those actually. Carter 1, Carter 2, and Carter 3. Carter 2, I think was his transition into the great. And then he got better by the time Carter 3. The mixtapes in between Carter 2 and Carter 3 is him. That's why that debate can happen.
Oh, I beg to differ. I think Carter 2 was better than Carter 3.
Because you're older too. That's
Yeah,
your generation. And you're 36, you said?
36. That's when I graduated high school.
Yeah.
88.
My wife's 87, so she's a Lil Wayne fan to the max. Yeah, that's y'all guy.
Yeah, it was
How about
crazy.
you, Lil Wayne or friggin' Lil Wayne or Jay-Z?
I'm gonna go Jay-Z.
Okay.
Like I got a little older.
Okay.
And so like I gotta go with Jay-Z.
Okay. That's good. That's
If
good.
you asked me this question like 15 years ago,
Yeah, you would have said Wayne.
I would have said Wayne.
For sure. And I would have been justified.
Do you have a dream collab? Dead or alive? Dead or alive? Dead or alive?
I think right now, because I have...
Actually, I shouldn't even say if it's a dream, because if you pick someone that's dead, then
it's
okay.
definitely a dream.
Mhm.
I think right now, I don't, like, I really did. I think it would be Shine right now, but old Shine. Like, Shine when his voice was the right way.
Yeah.
And if not Shine, it would be also with the voice problems, it would be Siegel.
Listen.
Yeah, he doesn't sound the same anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if you saw this clip, but I think I saw a clip where there was an AI Beanie Siegel with his original voice, and he was listening to it. And let me tell you, man.
So tearing up?
Like
I wanted to cry. I want to go
like
back.
a modern version, like someone wrote
with his
it.
voice. You know when
like
you
how
listen,
Drake did the Tupac thing.
Yeah.
And Beanie's
Holy
listened to
shit.
it, and Beanie's like, he actually gave it the cosign. But when you AI is amazing, like it's freaking.
That's
trippy.
crazy.
And
He'd
I was
probably
just,
make an album.
and it just reminded me of how sick Beanie. I don't know if I should say was or is, but like
He probably still is,
When
because
I
that's probably pent up in him, because he didn't get it all. Like even just the like his stops, like his prick, like when the emotion that's coming, I feel like if I watch him in the studio, because I have that in me, I think I calm down just for the way the vibe is of music is kind of. But my emotion normally, a lot of times, guys like, yo, get off the mic, you're going way too hard.
Yeah.
But if I was to watch Beanie Siegel, that would bring that necessarily.
Yes.
Out. You know what I mean?
When you listen to songs like "What Your Life Like," "The Reason," oh my god,
his whole shit, his freestyles, all his shit. He just has memorable moments.
his diss track against Jada, oh my god,
There's a freestyle I always listen to when him and Freeway were going back and forth with each other, and it's like they're like just going back and forth, and then he like 10 and a half, like 16. He's going from his whole age, and he's just rapping about the whole shit. Yo, Siegel's different.
Beanie.
Shit.
You come off, not come off. You seem like an honorable man. And we always hear crazy stories about Jay-Z and how he courtailed a lot of artists' careers. There's like three of them I can name off the top of my head. You know what I mean? And then it's always Jay-Z's always in our top conversation. He's the top guy. He's the guy. But from what I'm hearing and from what I'm learning as I get older, I'm seeing that he's not really an honorable man.
Yeah, it seems as if that. And the thing is, it seems that way because he doesn't speak. So about things like that. Like, whereas 50 tries to even nudge him, it seems. Like, touch his buttons, push his buttons. I think that's what's genius about him, because you don't even know. And then you'll let a lot of times there'll be someone else telling the story on his behalf. Like, it wasn't really like that. Then everyone else ends up kind of feeling like complainers. Like even Siegel kind of talks a little bit different, where it's like, yo, it was kind of me. Whereas when he was getting mad at those times when he was really angry, he was unleashing and Jigga wasn't saying nothing. And then, or you might hear Jigga do a 1-2 punch, like a little subliminal, just like Drake tries to do.
Right.
But now you can see the two. Drake now finally addresses someone instead of punching, like fully, and he paid a price. And Jigga's never really done that. He's never, besides Nas, he had his one with Nas, and then he just took his
a couple hits at Jim Jones and
then
Cameron
here and there, like it's just a little subliminal. He just takes hits, like fuck it. I'm $1. What the fuck is 50 cents? Like little shit like that.
And you nailed it, because he doesn't address it. So the narrative just permeates. It just grows. It just sits there.
Right.
And he doesn't defend against anything. So naturally, and there's a saying, if you don't tell your story, someone's going to tell it for you. So until Jay-Z addresses this shit, that's always going to be the narrative. But that doesn't even mean that it's the truth what they're saying.
Yeah. And it's hard to know. And that's what's brilliant. But like, it doesn't mean he's honorable either.
And we got to remember too that, at some point Jay-Z gave them a shot or co-signed, and back then that goes a long way.
And there's another thing, putting you on. How do you put someone on? Because I'm starting to even. I see people mad at this low level I'm at. I see people mad at me like yo, why don't you put me on this? And why don't you put me on that? Or why don't you get me this? And it's like,
really, Toronto?
Yo, all this is like, all I could say, like, I was with John Cabango when the recent show, John Cabango was there, and Steele's a homie. Like, even when I go out to New York, Steele from Smith & Wesson, check him, he bring me to little parties and stuff. Now, the best. When I was backstage, I'm like, yo, Steel, meet John Kabongo, yo. He's a young dude coming up. He's nasty. Trust me, he's the future. That's the most I could really do for you.
Yeah.
And there's a handshake, and now like, yo, let me hear. I'm gonna watch your show.
You.
Now, after that, there's no really putting you on. Unless now I say you're my artist and I'm managing you.
That's what they want.
That's different. But I can't put you on past that.
Yeah.
What else could you do?
Niggas hit us up all the time. Have me on the pod. And it's like, dude, you know, like
What
this
are
is
you
a
doing?
business.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's got to be mutually beneficial. Like, what do you bring into the table?
100%.
We're not just going to have you on.
It
Just
doesn't
because
work
you
like
wanna be
that.
on.
Because it didn't work like that for you.
Exactly.
You made your podcast. If you want to friggin' talk on a podcast, put it together yourself and do it.
Yeah.
That's not my job.
Yeah, you got to make your own way in this world, man. So
you
that's
have
what
to.
it is. Yeah.
It's fire.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to thank you so much for coming out.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. That was a great conversation.
Right now, this is
fun. My God.
Like, so easy. Yeah, that would, like I would do this again. I like rain.
I love rain.
That's perspective. Yo, I don't feel like no one's doing anything more outside.
This winter's been great.
I noticed lately all my outlook is inward. I'm trying to move from the Leonard and Skinner. That's American rap. That's important for sinners. This imperative talk. Could affect what's for dinner. I was taught.
Yo, this is Black Mob, episode 566. Having the conversations with the people you can't talk to. We got Asun Eastwood in the building. Got my boy Glory. Co-host Glory.
The moment they lost it, and where did it differ? They were loved ones, and likely they were quoted as winners. So where did it fall, and why did it simmer? Too much questioning determine the goal. Too much compromise, have your soul cashed in for gold. The rich will always tell you that the game's only sold. The wealthy know the rich, hope and pray it ain't told. That's a fact. You know why that's a fact? That's because the greedy, they only feel by money.
There's a couple of emotions. Yeah, food creates emotion because when you're hungry, you want the food that you want. Friends create an emotion because when you go and you hang out with your friends and you go and have a good time with your friends. And especially if they're your old friends, so they have history on you for time. But music, why do you think all these older people sit there and still listen to 70s classic rock? Because they remember where they were on that moment when that song was playing. And they remember, because I remember the first time I ever heard Who Shot Ya from Biggie Smalls. Cheers.
On that track.
Yeah, is that audio fucking good on that? We'll fucking wing it. We're gonna wing it.